And you're going through kind of the same processes. I do, you watch. I do, you do. And that whole process takes over when it's successful.
Yeah.
And when it's not successful, I mean, how many times have you been thrown in the kitchen to manage it and you're like, I don't know. Really? Who am I going to watch?
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to do you? Like, what,
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to Buns, Burgers, and Big Ideas. Woo! We're here with my special guest, Riley.
Oh, I'm a guest now?
That's what we're going to start with. Hey, I wanted to sit in the chair and be the cool guy for once. Round of applause for me. Go ahead, Riley. You're the host.
Glad to have you, Nick, as always. Thanks for always stepping in and helping us with the podcast. It is an awesome thing that we try to do for our teams, and it's just really cool to have.
We don't try, we do.
We do.
We do.
We do. Yes, you're right. We don't try, we do. Our organization does.
That's right. It's true. It is. Because, a lot of leaders will tell you, do not even use the word try.
Yeah.
Because when you say the word try, you're already putting doubt in yourself. You're already telling yourself, second place is okay. When you're running a world-class organization, second place is never okay. Now it's going to happen, second and third place, but it's never okay in the leaders that are true winners.
Yes.
So, so we will do. We might not do it right every time, but we'll do it over and over again until we get it right.
And do it. As a growing organization and in the industry that we are in, fast food, things are always changing. Things are always moving, and it's sometimes really hard to stay focused.
Yep.
We preach a lot about wildly important goals and WIGs, and that was one of our first couple episodes. So if you want to go back and watch those about the 4 stages of execution or something like that, go check that out. It's helped our organization a lot. Developing and coaching and bringing in somebody and literally developing them and getting them to a point where you're cheering for them. All right, Nick, I'm going to do and you're going to watch.
Right on.
Okay? The 4 stages of developing, these different stages. And I really like this because it's kind of easy it kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit. So I do, you watch. I do, you help. You do, I help. And then you do, I cheer.
Yeah.
And it just highlights that. And what's cool is that as an organization, we're getting to the point where we're developing developers, and it's a chain reaction from that point on, because once you get in that rhythm, it's just going to take over and you're just going to be able to develop leaders everywhere you go.
Yeah, just think like maybe not even 2 months or 4 months or 6 months or a year down the road. Mm-hmm. When the leader is always in that cheer stage or cheer phase with them that work with them, because what we want to do is we want to create everybody around us to be better than us.
Yes.
That's at least what I've always said.
Yeah. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
If you're not the smartest in the room, then that's good.
Right. And they'll also say on the other side of the coin, if you're the best in the room, find a bigger room.
Yeah. Find a different room where you're not.
Right. And that doesn't mean in your restaurant, like, hey, I'm the best, I need to find a bigger restaurant.
Yeah.
It might just mean that you might have to go outside of your own 4 walls to improve your leadership. Mm-hmm. But that's a different podcast.
I'm sure we'll have an episode about that at some point.
But the I do, you watch is really cool, because when you think about just McDonald's training in general, it's kind of the same process, right? You might watch a video and then you do, or you might watch a video and then you watch me and then you do, and then we verify or cheer. Yeah. A lot of times we'll bring in new people and we'll kind of skip that process. Mm-hmm. We don't do that for development or leadership process. It's like, hey, welcome to McDonald's or whatever restaurant you work in, and I'm going to just, first of all, this is how you punch in, and then we're going to have you jump on register or jump and drive through, instead of going to that process. Like, do I ever say, hey, Riley, welcome to McDonald's, it's your first day. Cool. I'm going to have you watch me do orders. Yeah. And then I'm going to have you do it and I help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And McDonald's, so our process is see it, try it, check it.
Right.
So that's the process. And right now it's a lot of videos. So there's training videos on how to do stations. McDonald's, first of all, I've talked about Fred Turner before, but Fred Turner revolutionized the processes and procedures of McDonald's, and that's kind of where our training comes from. And so it's super, ABCD. It's very process oriented, right? So you watch a video on it, and then you try it, and your coach is doing it with you to help you, right? And then afterwards you cheer, like, you got fries down, man. you're good on fries.
Yep, you're verified.
Yep.
Now you're allowed to be scheduled in that area, which is kind of cool. And then I get more hours because I'm now trained.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about shift management. Right?
Yeah.
Like I've been with the company for a little while, and I'm going to start learning how to run a shift. It's kind of the same process. You know, you watch some videos, you do some things that you have to do. You work in an area, you learn how to run the area, the kitchen. Like how do you manage the kitchen? And you're going through kind of the same processes. You know, I do, you watch. I do, you do. And that whole process takes over when it's successful.
Yeah.
And when it's not successful, I mean, how many times have you been thrown in the kitchen to manage it and you're like, I don't know. Really? Who am I going to watch?
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to do you? Like, what did you know?
Yeah.
So it's one of those vital things. And we always want to train so fast.
Yes.
Like, how do you fast track everything in this crazy world? Like, I need instant gratification. Well, it doesn't work in your development.
When we talked about too, if everything's important, nothing is.
Correct.
Right. And so it's the same kind of feel. It's like, let's just go fast at training. But if you go fast, you're going to miss out on some of those steps, and their training isn't going to be as whole. And the other thing I want to call out too about this process is it's allowing you as the leader as well to set those clear expectations from the jump as you're developing them into a shift leader, right? So I do, you watch. I'm a shadow of a leader. I need to be showing you exactly what I expect a shift leader to do.
Yep.
And then when you do it, then I can coach and help you along the way. And then when you're doing it and I'm cheering, like that's the sweet spot.
Yep.
So, and I think too about the process is if you stick to that, the person you're developing is going to now remember that process too. And honestly, just throwing it out there, they're going to be happier at work because you took the time.
Yep.
And they're going to stay, and your retention is going to be better because of that.
Yep. And you just said it. That's your return. You know, and we go from having, you know, your turnover, and now it gets better. And, you know, one of our biggest focuses right now is going from 100% of turnover for training 12 months to 30%. And we started off with making sure we develop our shift leaders to where they deserve to be.
Yes.
Right.
They deserve to be led, and they deserve to have the knowledge and resources to run a great shift.
Yep.
And that's really the end all be all goal that we have is developing just kick-ass shift leaders.
Yep. Get everybody around you to be as good as you.
Or better.
Or better. I like better.
Yeah.
You know, because when you are cheering more, they're going to get better than you. You want to know why? And then you're gonna have to sharpen your saw again, because when you have to do the I do again, you have to be relevant.
Yep.
And that's another thing that's kind of cool about it. Like, hey, I have a new swing manager job. I'm going to teach them how to do it. Oh, shoot, I better really sharpen my I do so they know exactly what I'm doing. Because you said earlier, we're setting the standard and the example.
Yeah.
And if I don't, and you watch, you know, it's going to be, you know, exactly like, you don't really have to shake the fries. You just walk away and just go talk by the, you know, HLZ or, you know.
If you're stuck in that cheer mode, you're saying, like,
right.
You're stuck in like if you've developed people and you've got a great team and everybody's just going really well, and then you promote somebody,
right?
You gotta probably go take a look at some.
Yeah, you got to find that blend back and forth because. Yeah. Excuse me, being in that cheer mode is great, and if you can stay there, awesome.
But you got to plan.
However, you got to make sure you got to make sure that you have a pulse on the I do's, because when the rest of your team starts taking over for that development for you, your assistants start taking over, or your shift managers are now doing those internals and stuff for you, which should be.
Yeah.
It's not hard for us as the leaders of the restaurant to kind of over delegate. I guess maybe would be the
I would say over-delegate, not necessarily over-delegate, but they're finding time to work on the business. And so if you do have a strong assistant who's developing your shift leaders, I think that's great.
Right.
Because, again, that's allowing you more time as the general manager to look at the business, look at the trends, you know, adjust for sales, and really get your hands into the business rather than, you know, the day-to-day results and the day-to-day development of
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point.
But you know, not everybody has an assistant.
Right.
Or has a developed assistant. So your GMs definitely need to have a sharp saw, like you said.
Yeah. For sure. I like how you said work on your business, not always in the business, because a lot of times that's what we do. We work in it too much.
Yep.
You know, what we mean by in it is like running per drive-through 9 hours a day and getting maybe a half hour for yourself to work on the business. Get in that mode where you can cheer.
Yeah.
And when you are on the floor, you're cheering and you're motivating, inspiring, and then, right.
It's It sounds so simple, but man, Nick, does this sound really hard to some of our leaders in our restaurants. As we're talking about development and leading and teaching these shift leaders, our organization values that a lot. What would you say to a GM who's maybe having a hard time developing their shift leaders?
You have to understand the value of it. Mm-hmm. And that's hard for some people because if you haven't been, we only know what we know.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things I don't know. I'm looking forward to learning them.
Yeah.
But whatever they are. But I think it's when you look at something measurable. At the end of the day, it's got to be measurable. Mm-hmm. If it's a scale of 1 through 5, 1 being poor, 5 being excellent, how do you want your team to be? And if your team is at a 1 right now and you're doing all of the work and you're working in the business all the time, well, that's okay. All right, fine. That's a starting point.
Yeah.
How do you
get to 3?
Get to 2 or 3. Yeah. And now you're off the floor for 5 or 6 hours a week working in the business. And then how do you get to that excellent with a 5? And the best leaders probably will never feel like they're at a 5. They'll always feel like a 4 or 4.5. And that's real leadership, right? Like, I'm a 5. It's like doing interviews. That's one of the things we ask people. Hey, if I talk to your past employer, how would they rate you? 1 being poor, 5 being excellent. Mm-hmm. All the good A players typically say 4, 4.5. Because we as high-level leaders, we're not as arrogant where we'll say we're a 5.
5 is kind of like, okay, are you really?
Right.
Or are you trying to...
So back to what you asked me, like, find something measurable. Mm-hmm. It could be voice. Hey, I don't have an assistant. My voice is at 50. Okay, cool. What are you going to do to improve the voice then? Make sure that you find something measurable that you can look up. And it's got to be quick. Like, voice is great because I can pull on my phone and find out. You can use QSR Soft. You can use whatever other tools that we have. But you got to find that inspiration. Like we've talked before about motivation and inspiration. Like, my goal is probably my outside motivator, but what's inspiring me to get that number to get better? Right. And that's like the action that we're going to take.
And I think that action is going to be the 4 steps of development. Correct. Over here.
You don't have an assistant? That's great. Yeah. You have an assistant somewhere. Mm-hmm. Follow the 4 steps. Get to that cheering mode, and then they start that process over again with them on something different.
And then they can help then cheer voice and your other goals. Like, your team is there to help you, and they want to win too.
They do.
Okay? So if you're in the business a lot of the time, it's okay.
Yep.
But you got to work on it and start developing your team so that you can work on the business instead of in the business.
Yep. We have A players.
Absolutely we do.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Follow the 4 steps. I do, you watch. I do, you help. You do, I help. And then you do, I cheer.
Woo!
And everybody will be perfect.
Except it won't be because we're always going to
It won't be perfect because then you have to cheer and then have to do the process again. Yeah. And that's what's fun about it. Like, you think about like elementary school. Like, you're in 1st grade. Mm-hmm. Teachers, they do all those 4 steps again. And then guess what? It all starts over next year.
Yep.
And that's leadership. Like, it's the same thing over and over and over again.
But it's every time it starts over, it's the next level.
Correct.
The next time you get better at it, you get you get more knowledge about it, and you just keep leveling up and working with your team. So that's awesome. I really like this.
I do too.
Like, honestly, I think that's super cool, and I'm going to try and remember. Nope, not try.
Not try. I'm going
to remember this, and I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to talk about it with my teams, and really talk about it with our GMs, because it's really, it kind of solidifies the whole process in a nice, easy way.
And it's fun. One last thing. It's funny because every time I'm doing something new with somebody, I always have, hey, pull a chair up, let me show you, and then show me, and it's fun because I guess I've been doing this process all along.
Yeah.
To my best ability. Like, hey, brother, come over here. I'm going to show you in QSR Soft. Click, click, click. And now you do it, because I won't learn if I don't get a chance to do it. So,
well, and you're also double checking that I understood and learned the right way.
I was probably just trying to learn something from you, just sneaking you in there to show me how to.
That's super.
Could I switch that around? Could I make you show me and I show? I guess I probably could.
You could. You can probably move them around a little bit.
Another episode, probably.
Depending on the topic, but.
It's a Jedi episode. We'll do later.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Buns Burgers, Big Ideas. We will see you next time. Listen, learn, lead.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us on Buns Burgers and Big Ideas. We hope today's episode inspired fresh ideas for your leadership journey. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and keep learning with us as we continue to explore leadership in the QSR world. Until next time, take care and lead well.